Niajiwase. TapTap Send Money Transfer has launched its app in Kenya. Send money to M-Pesa and Kenyan bank accounts. Send money quickly at the best rate. Hassle-free. Available in the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium and Germany. Too mucky too.
Hello, and welcome to our show tonight. This is Beacon of Hope, Friday special edition. And as usual, this is your host, Councillor Elizabeth Kangethe, Mrs. Bishop BK. And I'm so excited to be hosting you to another episode of the many series that we've been holding on different topics. And guess what? Tonight, you are in for a treat. Tonight, we have a very, very special guest. And before I proceed, did you know that I always promote whatever is good for us? If you're in UK and you want to send money to Kenya, to your loved ones, and even to support them in this time of crisis, especially now we've got COVID and so many needs and debts and all that, the easiest and cheapest way to send money to Kenya is through TapTap. Easy download. It's very easy to download, and they've got the highest rate of exchange. Just easy send. And you know what? If you use my promo code LIZ254, £10. I'll come back to that later. So once again, welcome. It's our show, Beacon of Hope, Friday special edition. And tonight, like I've said, we are in for a treat. We've got a very, very special lady alongside me, and we are going to share a very kind of controversial topic, a topic that is so dear to me, a topic that is very close to my heart, because we are talking about raising parents in the diaspora as single parents. Is it easy? Are there challenges? How do you manage? Can you do it? Can you manage if for whatever reason you find yourself a single parent and here are the children? Do you just start crying, whoa, and or do you just take the bull by the horn and go ahead and do it? So tonight, we have a special lady, a very dear lady to me. Most of you say, Kenya in the park, Kenya in the park. Yes, your guess is right. We've got Lydia Olet, my very dear friend, and me and Lydia, we've come from far, a long way. We've traveled a long journey together. That's for another day. Or Lydia, you come and share that. So tonight, once again, we're trying to discuss, are there any challenges raising up children as a single parent, and more so in the diaspora? Are there advantages? Are there challenges? How can you manage? Where did you get support? How have we managed? I've been there, and my guest has been there, and she's managed. Is it possible? Can we raise up responsible children in the diaspora despite being single? And remember, being single is not a stigma. You can be single because of being divorced. You can be single out of choice. You can be single because you've lost your husband. So many reasons, so many circumstances can happen. And then you find yourself as a single parent. And when we talk about a single parent, though my guest tonight is a lady, you can be a single father and raising up children and do it. So tonight, we're looking at the challenges of raising up children as a single parent. And here we are, my beautiful Lydia there, my beautiful sister. Good evening, darling. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, my mayor. Thank you very much for this invitation.
You know, I'm always happy to see you. Whenever I see you, we all start smiling.
I know.
Knowing where we've come from, isn't it?
I know. In fact, today somebody asked me on Facebook, because I said my mayor, and then the person said, excuse me, from Mayor Kangethe, where is mayor? I said, she was a former mayor, but to me, she's a mayor, and she'll always be a mayor. That's why
there we go. Mayor. Just like my Lydia there says, yes, she still calls me mayor. She says, once a mayor, you still remain my mayor. You know what, Lydia? Could you ask all your people to share in all their platforms? Could you share in yours and tell people we are live on Lydia Olet Facebook, Elizabeth Kangethe Facebook, and on our YouTube channel, Beacon of Hope, Beacon of Hope, Beacon. And we have a very beautiful topic. I'm sure we're going places. Right, before I proceed, because every time I see you, I get excited. Would you like to introduce yourself? Because people always say, oh, Kenya in the park. Who is it? Who is this person? Can we know who is this Lydia Olet? Go ahead, take it on.
Thank you very much. Well, my name is Lydia Tett Olet, and I'm from Kenya originally. So I always work with my brands and say, I'm Kenyan, Oh, you have yours as well. Okay. Don't stop showing off, Maya. Stop showing off.
Of course, proudly.
Proudly Kenyan. So I'm a philanthropist. I do help a lot of charities in Kenya. And right now we're actually trying to rebuild a school in Kibera called Shama Splendid Secondary School. So the school is there already, but we're just trying to rebuild it. And I also work as an insurance advisor. And a lot of people when it comes to insurance, they always see me and they run away because they're like, no, we're not doing that. So yes, I'm also an insurance advisor. Yes, and because I believe that there's always, every problem has a solution. And I always look for problems and I find a way of executing them. And then I pray to God to help me succeed in everything I do. So yes, and I also act with Nollywood. I've done 4 and 5 movies with Nollywood. One of them is actually showing. Even one of them I wrote it myself, and it was premiered in Nigeria. And I also do culture. I'm a cultural teacher. I teach culture because I believe that we need to, as people who are from far away from home, wherever we're coming from different places in Africa, as our Black people or as Africans, we need to know our roots. So I teach schools and I teach them about African culture. And I'm also an event organizer. I'm the founder of one of the biggest events in Diaspora, not one of the biggest events, but the biggest event in Diaspora called Kenya and Friends in the Park. And we know where that started, in your parlor. That's why I'll always call you my mayor, because I know where we started from. So thank you very much. That's me in a nutshell.
Right, that's in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, our viewers, because if Lydia was to continue introducing herself, you know what? She's left out so much. That's not all that she does, because I know so many people talk to her. She acts, Lydia and I act like we are the ambassadors here. We speak on behalf of our people. We are community leaders. We are community champions. We don't keep anything good from our fellow Kenyans. Anything we know, we shout out the loudest. I think Lydia and I can be called the loudest. We have the biggest mouth on behalf of Kenya. And people sometimes even say, Lydia and I work for the embassy. We do not. It's because we are community champions and we love our country, and anything good for our country, we always shout out the loudest. You know what now, Lydia, I am so excited to be hosting you here tonight. And like I said in my introduction, our friendship goes a long way. And every time I know July is near, I get all the excitement, because Lydia said one off. Can I correct Lydia and say Lydia hosts the biggest park event in Europe? Kenya in the park. It's the biggest in Europe. This young girl, you see her, she does it. She's done it for how many years now, Lydia?
7 years. This is the 7th year.
And I know right from day one, I know where this came from, supporting each other, working together, teamwork. Now, Lydia, she will tell us, the topic tonight is raising up as children in the diaspora as a single parent. And I said, me and Lydia, we share so much in common, because I have been there bringing up a child, and more so a boy. Lydia has brought up girls. So we compare notes. We've been assisting each other. We've been discussing. We've been looking at the challenges and the downfalls and the ups, because it's not just the challenges. There is so much good even in that. Just a quick reminder again to tell people, when you hear somebody is raising up children as a single parent, we don't put that, we don't want that stigma. It is, sometimes it's not by choice. Sometimes it's because there is separation. Sometimes there is divorce and there are children involved. Sometimes there is bereavement, and sometimes by choice, you know. So there are so many reasons as to why somebody would be a single parent. And I made that clarification again, and I said it could be a gentleman, a single parent. But tonight it's the two of us as single ladies. I am not single anymore, but I've brought up a son as a single parent. So I relate so much with what Lydia is about to share tonight. Now, Lydia, I do not want to ask the nitty-gritties of how you became single and all that. I would like you to flow. I would like you to flow in, if you'd like to share how this happened, how many children, and when you know, how it has been. We want to share the experience, and I'll be bringing in questions. And viewers, if you have any questions, we have been there, we've done it, and we are proudly talking of our children who are doing very well. And I'll be talking about Lydia's daughter, who is my good friend, who is doing very well, like the mother. Over to you, Lydia. Take it on now.
Thank you once again. First of all, I just want to say that I want to talk to single parents, like you said. It's not necessarily, because every time people say single parent, straight away people think, oh, it's a woman. But we also have men who are actually single parents out there. So when we're talking about single parents, we're talking about all of them, the women and the men. And I want to say, people there who are always judging, they're always judging single parents. If anything happens out there, either an event happens that's very bad, or they stab somebody, or something happens, straight away they point at single parents and they say, oh, that's a single mother. Because I'm in one group one day, and a child was stabbed or something happened, and somebody said that is a product of a single mother. I was angry. I was livid. And by the time I finished with this person, he had to apologize. I said, you cannot say that, because we have seen children who are in a marriage, there's a mom and there's a dad in the picture, they're married, but their children are still causing havoc out there. And then we also have children who are good in married homes. And we also have children with single moms and single dads who are good and who are bad. So you cannot say according to statistics. That is, to me, I always get angry when they say that, because I know I'm a single mom, and I have brought children who are children who are productive, successful in the community and the society. No police have ever knocked my door and said, oh, your child did this, or no neighbors have knocked and said, your child did this. In fact, I had a neighbor of mine, he's passed on, may his soul rest in perfect peace. And like they always say, there's racism. Yes, there is, but this person was even a white person who made a comment on my children when he was sick. He was in the hospital because he had cancer. When I went to see him on a Tuesday, and he told the nurse that if you have children like this woman's children, you will want to have 10 of them, because our children are so good. And I was so happy to hear somebody from a different culture from me, different community from me, different color from me, can actually even make that comment that brought my children so well. So when people sit there and judge single parents, my dear, it's because you're doing something that they cannot do, and there are two of them. So they are envious and they're jealous that, oh my God, how can this woman or this man bring such children in the community, but yet we are two of us, and you cannot even accomplish that. So for single parents out there, hands up, thumbs up, and I also applaud you. So thank you very much for that. It's not easy, because we have children, and we know that these children, they need consistency. And to have consistency, especially as one parent, is not easy. If you have more than one children, because I have 3 of them, and they're all girls, and you know that girls demand and demand. Boys sometimes can just say, it's okay, mommy, it's okay, daddy. But girls, they need attention 24/7. They demand, so and so you have to have consistency. You have to have discipline as well on the process. You must have love for them, attention, and divided attention. So now these are 3 girls. How are you going to divide your time between them, or 4 children or 10 children? Although it doesn't matter how many children you have, but each one of them is unique and special in their own way, and they all need your attention at the same time. And they also need, and as a parent, you just have to have, you listen to understand, not to respond. So give them a listening ear, give them a crying shoulder, and so It's not easy. And the day I found out it wasn't easy, Maya,
Mm-hmm.
one day I was sending my children. This is one day that I realized it is not easy being a single parent.
Yes.
I was sending my children away. I was sending them to America, to go to America by themselves. And because they've never traveled by themselves, my big daughter, who I was thinking, you're older now, so you can take care of your little sisters. And when you get to America, my sister will be waiting for you there. So there's no problem. You're just on the plane. It's not like you're going to take a matatu, a bus, the plane.
Yeah.
When you get there, my sister will be there. At night, just before they traveled, my big daughter started having anxiety. Maya, this girl vomited for 2 hours.
On the plane.
Non-stop. And I knew anxiety because she was saying, Mommy, I told you we can't go to America by ourselves. And she was vomiting. And when she was vomiting, the other one started having panic attacks. And now she couldn't breathe. The other one couldn't breathe. So one was vomiting in the bathroom. The other one was having panic attack in the bedroom. They all needed me. I didn't know what to do. When I ran to this one is crying, Mommy, come back. When I ran to this one is crying. I said, God, give me strength. What am I doing? That is when I realized, because if their dad was there, their dad would go and attend to somebody else, and I'll attend to the other person. So I had to talk to my last one. My last one, she's very strong. That one is Muluya Kabisa. Amekula ingoho.
That
one is a real Muluya woman. I was like, please, I know you are the last one, but I need your help here. Because she's very strong. I said, look, you go to your sister. When I go to this one, so we can swap round. So I'll go to the one who is vomiting, then I'll go to the one who is having a panic attack. So for 2 hours, Maya, when I finished these 2 hours, I lied down on the bed and I said, wow, this is what you go through as single parents. So it's not easy. And for you to accomplish that is just to have the wisdom of how to deal with events like this. So it's not easy being a single parent. It's hard. And for those who have done it, well done. And don't be scared. And that is the thing, Maya. A lot of people in relationships are scared because they're thinking, how am I going to cope? How am I going to do it without my wife or without my husband? So they are in a very bad relationship, a relationship that is toxic, and they're actually passing that toxic to the children. But because there's a fear of the unknown, that, oh my God, but how will I cope? You can cope. I did it. Elizabeth Kangethe did it. A lot of single parents out there have done it. So you can do it as well.
Right. Lydia, I would like to put a disclaimer here because I do not want anybody to think we are advocating for single parenthood. No. I remind people that we do not want people to be judgmental. When you see a woman with kids, raising kids on her own, when you see any gentleman raising kids on their own, before you open your mouth to judge, you need to know, how did that happen? Was it accidental? Because we also have girls who get pregnant, they were not prepared for it. The guy doesn't take responsibility. Do you abort? No. Children belong to God. You find yourself, maybe you were once married, it's not working, so you walk away, you separate, you find you are happily married, and through the devil, because I must say it's the devil, you are separated or divorced, and then you end up being on your own, or maybe there is bereavement. But if we can advocate, the order of God is for children to be brought up by the both parents. That is the order of God. But here we are, because we found ourselves in a situation where we had to bring up children on our own. What are the challenges, and especially in the diaspora? Lydia has already said she had 3 daughters. I have a son, and I brought him up from the age of 4. Now, we want to show and to encourage our sisters and our brothers out there. If you find yourself there, how can you go about? Because at least somebody who has been there through all the thick and thin, all the challenges. Because Lydia will be sharing in a minute, and I'll be sharing too. It's never easy, especially in diaspora, where everybody is minding their own business, where there's so much rush for shifts, and this is not the place where you can send children on their own, especially in the primary school at the young age. They have to be accompanied. You're holding their hands. You have to pick them up in the evening. You have to go for meetings. You cannot give any excuses. Lydia, give all the challenges now. Let's go on.
Well, one, I was even saying that I was at work one time, and my boss, he was always getting on to me. At the end, I had to leave, and or he fired me, or it was just unknown. And the relationship between me and him was just he was a him, but he has a wife and they have a child. But he did not understand that I'm a single mother. So every time I said I'm going home, he's like, "No, I said, you have a wife." I kept on reminding him, "You have a wife at home looking after your son. I have nobody. I'm the dad and I'm the mom." He could not understand. Every time we were fighting, at the end, I just said, I can't do this because my children come first. So I left. And the thing is, people always say that, yeah, but I have to work. One thing that I think makes us leave the children is content. If you're not content with what you have, then you leave your children. Maya, what I said from beginning, I'd rather have £3 only in my account, provided I have food on the table for my children. I'd rather just go. There's Primark. I'll go to Primark and do shopping for my children clothes, the cheapest clothes. I will go to charity and buy my children clothes from charity, but I'll be present for my children. Amen. Let that money stay. I'll be present for my children because I know one day they'll be older. And when they're older now, because they say, a word in Swahili that says, samaki mkunja akiwa mbichi.
Mkunja, yeah.
Yeah.
When they're young,
When they're young, discipline them when they're young. But the mistake that we make, especially as single parents, because you want to make sure your children have the best trainers, the best shoes, the best clothes. Why don't you train them and teach them that if I leave you, there's two ways. I can leave you and go to work morning and night, and you'll have the best trainers you want, or I can stay here and I can buy you trainers for £20, but at least you are here, mommy's here, and you can see mommy. It's your choice. Which one do you want? Do you want to have the best trainers and don't see mommy, or you want mommy? So let them make that choice, because we are here for our children. It's our children first, and your family. When you have children, your family is your children are number one. Your children are first in your life. So you have to make sure that your children are comfortable. You cater for your children because God gave you those children to look after. Amen. And then now the next love, yes, will go to your parents, but your first is your children. Yes. So if you're going to be absent, because you must make that money, because that money you must give your parents, you must give your sisters, you must give the whole village, and be absent from your children. That's when you see the children trying to cause havoc, because the love that they're supposed to get from their parents, they'll go and get that love out there. And even and like you rightfully said, man, I have to say that again, we are not advocating for divorce or separation, or we're trying to put singleness on top of marriage. No. Yes. But we are trying to talk to the women and the men who are single out there. It's not a curse, and it's not a sin to be single. No. So don't feel like I just have to stay because if I'm single, I cannot cope. Yes, you can. The challenges are huge. Nobody's gonna lie to you. They are huge, especially if you have boys and you're a woman. If you have girls and you're a dad, then at least you can relate. There's some issues you can relate to. But if you're a single mom with a boy, it's really difficult. So the best thing I can advise somebody like that is find an uncle, and that uncle has to be trusted because of things that are happening out here as well. And that's a topic for another day. All these children being molested and being abused. So you have to find the right uncle who is so trustworthy to talk to your child. And when your child even comes back, try to find out sometimes what they spoke about, because you can find these uncles giving children wrong advices as well. So you can talk to them and find out, what did you talk about? So the best thing I can say is be your children's best friend. My house, we are best of friends. Even my children's friends always say, "Oh, auntie, your house is not normal." I'm like, why? Because normal people don't behave like this. We're always dancing. We are so free. Even though I'm not saying that 100% they'll tell me what they're going through. There are some things they'll be like, "I don't want to tell mommy this. I want to hide this from mommy." That's fine. But they know that mommy is always there. Mommy is always there. Mommy's shoulders is there. Mommy's ears is there. Mommy is always here to hug. Mommy's hugs are there. Anytime you need it, I'm here. See, so as a single parent, Maya, oh, you know my big girl? That girl, I respect her with everything that I have because she helped me look after my two girls so much. And they had to be an understanding. Not just, look after your sisters. He said, no. They had to be an understanding. She had to realize that, yes, mommy is always here. But as much as mommy has to work and put food on the table, mommy is always here as well. She's not overworking herself. When my children had events, like, because you know my daughter she's an artist like me. So she always had drama. She's always acting, dancing. I was always there. Maya, I never missed my daughter's performance apart from once. And you know this once when I missed, she was at university when I missed her performance and she failed. And you know what she told me? She said, Mommy, it's your fault that we didn't win. I said, what do you mean you were not there? That broke my heart. And that was only once, Maya. Since this girl was in nursery.
Point number one, Lydia. Point number one, because I want everybody to follow keenly. And I'm glad there are people who are watching and they are encouraging us and saying this is a very good topic. Point number one for any parent, and I think this applies to both single and, let's say, double, both parents, present, being that present parent. And you have no excuse as a single parent for not being there for your children. Now, in a minute, we're going to look at the challenges because Lydia has said there are so many challenges. And Lydia has said, I've brought up my son from age 4 here on my own. Lydia, I know people who have quit wonderful jobs just to be with their children. But that one depends on the income and how much support you can get. You got to be very careful because you could quit and then you are not getting, you are not able to support your family. But this could call for reducing your hours so that when your children need you, you are there. So point number one, which is very important, Lydia said, it's for you to be present for your children as a parent. Don't be that absent parent. Don't go for those long shifts and you and your children, you become strangers.
Yes.
These children will go and look for that missing parent elsewhere. They will go visiting, and this is how we find our children getting married easily because they find that love which has not been offered by the parent. So Lydia says point number one is being that present parent for our children. So that there's no way you can ever replace. Never. Our mothers, our fathers, and we know some of them have been bereaved. But and today the topic is single parent in diaspora. Go over, Lydia. Take it on again.
Yeah. And I like what you just said about depends with how much money you get, because we're talking about single parenting in diaspora. We're not talking about Kenya, because Kenya, it would be a different story. Kenya, there's so many people to help you with your children, but here there's help with the government. The only problem is that 90 pounds enough for me? See, we have parents who, because they want to live this lifestyle, or there's either a competition or they want to buy simiti. Every money to nona tunasemanga hiyo ni simiti. We should not have that mentality, because if you came to this country, everybody came in diaspora for a different reason.
Yes.
But if you have children, every reason that you had is gone out of the window. Now it's your children. Because a lot of us came here as single parents, a lot of us came here as manyanga. We came without children. Some of us, we were thinking, I'm just going to diaspora, I'll just work, go back home, or nitanunua ploti, nitanunua nyumba, and then I'll go back. On the process, you had children. Now things change. Now you have to change now you have to adapt with now family life.
Yes.
I was not prepared for this child. The child is now there. You are the mom. What are you going to do? So,
and there is no child is never an accident. Every child is in God's plan. No child is never ever an accident. They are all in God's plan.
So now the child is there. You have to deal with it. So you cannot say, oh, yes, the accident beats that. A lot of people use that excuse, oh, she was an accident, he was an accident. Okay, the accident happened. Deal with it. Deal with it. Now, in diaspora, I'm sorry, Mayor, but personally, in diaspora, I feel like because there's so much help from the government, you can be content with that little that you have. I'm telling you, those children will grow. I never knew that my daughter would be 20 one day. I kept on looking at big children. I'm thinking, hey, when will my daughter be 10? She was 10, 15, 20. They will grow. When they grow, everything that you wanted to do now, you will do it.
Thank you.
Your children should be your number one priority. So raising children in diaspora, yes, is hard. But if the government is helping, you can cut your hours down. So now you can substitute the hours that you're doing and whatever the government is helping, and that can be enough for you. And you can look after your children. So for number one is yes, that to be present, because to be absent is more expensive than to be present.
Thank you. Now, let us deal with the challenges. Challenges, because they are there. We might not have the solutions. We might have failed in the process. Let's agree. We might have failed. And that is why we are here to share with our single parents here, so that if there was any challenge where I did not deal with it, now I'm better. I have learned. I'm better equipped. What are some of the challenges on your end? And I'm going to come in and say my challenges. And the viewers also. I can see my sister Irene is there. Yes. Yes. Can you also, I want you to join in the chat. I can see there we have some parents here. What are the challenges? And then we'll be discussing the solutions if we can. We are not the experts. We are just tackling this topic because we have been there and we would like to support any single parent. Challenges, Lydia?
Yeah. When it comes, I'll say like challenge number one. I don't want to, I'm not a person who likes blaming, but when it comes to challenges, when you look at the society, you look at the community, the society, and the government, because of the culture shock, where we were raised and we came here and we saw the culture, the rude culture shock, we still want to come to the diaspora and continue with the same mentality that we were brought up with in Kenya or in Africa, wherever you're coming from.
Yes.
So one challenge is adaptation. That is a very big challenge. Adaptation, to adapt to this society. And yes, you cannot lose as much as you adapt, do not lose your culture. Now that's where the problem comes. There's a big clash. There's a big challenge there because some people will come in and say, okay, you know what? I'm adapting to this society, to this culture, and forget everything about their own culture. And some people will come and say, you know what? I'm not going to adapt. I'm going to continue with whatever I knew in wherever they come from, is Nigeria, Ghana, Mali, I don't know. So that is a very big challenge because now you have these two forces fighting amongst themselves. Should I adapt and leave mine, or should I adapt? So what you have to do is bring it in the middle. Bring this and put it in the middle and gel it. Jam, blue band, put it together. When you take the jam and the blue band out, they're all mixed.
Yes.
So that is what we should do. So the first big problem that we have in diaspora is adapting, to adapt, because we cannot bring our children the same way we were brought up back home. That's just a no. Because this is a different society, a different geographical place, a different community, is everything, a different environment, everything is different. When they leave the house and they go outside to meet their friends talk to them, because it's not just, you see, like when we're in Kenya, example, we are all Kenyans, even though we are different tribes, but we are all Kenyans. So our culture is the same. Everything is, but in this country, you leave the house, you meet almost 20 different cultures. And before you get to wherever you're going, you meet a Nigerian person, a white person, an Indian, a Chinese. Every single person have their own culture. So you have to adapt with all this, but not forgetting where you're from. So number one challenge I'll say is to adapt. Adaptation. Because even to adapt, even language, even food, everything we have to adapt.
The culture.
Because the culture, the food, the language, everything, because all those things affect us as single parents.
Yes.
They affect us as single parents. They affect how you bring up your children to adapt even with the food and everything. Because you find some homes, they'll say, no, you're not eating anything. All they want to give is the things that we were used to eating. But you're in a different country. Try different food as well. Try bringing things. And then you start. That is because something as small as just food can bring problem. And you and your children can start fighting because you feel like they don't appreciate your food. Now there's a problem.
Right.
No, mommy, but we don't want to eat that problem. So adaptation. So in everything,
Right.
we need to adapt culture-wise, food-wise, clothing, behavior-wise, everything. So number one is adaptation.
Okay. Now, I said it's a chat. You know, I've got a very good comment, which is really what I would have said also. I've got one of the viewers here who says common challenges that single parents face is bias and discrimination from the so-called family members. They view themselves as better than you, and some distance their kids from theirs. Absolutely. And unless you've got a very close linked with maybe friends, church, and all that, you might suffer, you know, because if family members start discriminating you and maybe your children, this is not going to work. It becomes an area where your children feel like they don't fit at all. It's very, very challenging. Very, very challenging. Because this is where we find the children start withdrawing. They are not performing well in school. They start realizing that they are not liked. They start feeling they are rejected by the society and by their so-called family. So, like one of the ladies has said, Eva says, rejection and discrimination is there. And so the other children from your family members, maybe their cousins, they start distancing themselves from your children. And like we said, even in events, birthdays and all that, they're not invited because some of them, and I'm saying some, I thank God I did not have to go through that. Some of them will not be invited in some events because they think, oh, those ones from that single parent, we don't want our children. They'll copy that. They'll think, you know, it's okay to live without a daddy or to live without a mom. Because remember, we said single parenting does not just mean a woman, but you find most times it's the woman who is left with the children. So that discrimination, and it's really, really distasteful. It doesn't come well. Now, for my case also, one of my challenges wasn't anything to do with the family, wasn't the discrimination. And I thank God. My main challenge was because I was very, very close to my son, very close to my son. He used to be my handbag. People used to say, you know, he used to get all those sorts of names. When I had to start going to work, and that separation was really, really a challenge. But I thank God for the church. I thank God for family members. I thank God for friends who came in very handy. They used to assist me, pick him up from school, drop him, sometimes go for sleepover. Some of them would come and pick him up. And, you know, even people who have got families. So some of the challenges, I'm bringing the challenges and also giving solutions where people can come in and help. Invite these children. When you know they are seeing, go invite them. Let them feel they are part and parcel of the community. Let them feel they are part and part of society, of the society.
Please.
Let these children not feel discriminated or left out. Because one, Lydia said, the problem of adapting. If the society, if they are not adapting in the society, then the little group or the family or the community where you expected them to feel at home, they are discriminated. These children end up being loners. They feel they are rejected. They feel they are useless. They feel they are not wanted. They are not loved. What happens? Later on, these children are the ones who start, later on when they grow up, they might rebel because they want to fill that gap that was missing. So we are sharing all this so that people can understand and be that missing gap in the family if you can assist. Stop pointing fingers at single parents. Stop pointing fingers at these children. If you realize something that is missing, be that piece of the jigsaw that where you can support. And I'm saying this as a community, as churches, as you know, as neighbors, as friends, as sisters, as brothers. Let us be our sister's keeper. and together we'll be celebrating a happy community. Lydia, take it on. We continue. We said we are sharing.
You know, when it comes to that as well, being judged and everything, I know there's some events, especially events, and when they invite you, I've been to events when they invite you and you're single, the married people look at you thinking, is she coming to take our husband? One thing I want to say, nobody can take your husband and your wife. That means that husband was never yours or that wife was never yours. If somebody, because for you to say somebody is going to take them, your husband or your wife, they're not your property. You cannot be there guiding them. They should be guiding you. So if they don't guide you enough to go away with someone else, that you cannot sit and say, no, that to me, that is even shame on you. That you can even, shame on you that you even have words to say that somebody took him from me. It was never meant for you in the first place. That's what I was saying. But I know what if I say that when people don't, there are events that people will not invite you because they're thinking, oh, she's single, she's not in our class. But personally, when it comes to children, Mayor, I have put my children to stand out. And that is, I always tell them, stand out and don't fit in.
Yes.
So everywhere you go, you have to be an example. When you enter a room, people have to look and say, who is this who have entered? So you have to stand out. And when you stand out, that means you're different from everybody else.
Absolutely.
You are special from everybody else. You are unique from everybody else. You are you. So don't feel like, oh my God, now I have to fit in so that I can, because the only way they love me is if I fit in. The only way they will like me if I fit in. I have to dress like them. My friend, if you have to go and shop in Lidl and walk with the Lidl bag, because that is what God has given you. There are some people that don't even have £1. There are some people that are living in a very horrible situation. People are living in slums. People are living in at the age of 2 or 5. They can go 1 week without even food. And you're worried because I cannot fit in this place. I cannot fit in this place. No. I tell my children, stand out. Do not fit in anywhere. And every time when my children are going to school, I say, Mommy, who are you, sweetie? They'll say, I'm a black, beautiful African princess.
Amen.
I stand out and I don't fit in.
Wow.
I am more than a conqueror. I am a child of God. That is what I train my children from when they are young.
Positive affirmation. Positive affirmation. Well done.
Affirmation. By the time they're older, they don't care who is inviting them, who is not inviting them, who is because they stand out. They don't fit in your little circle. So if you have a clique, this clique that people do, and this is a circle of these people's circle, my children will not fit in there because they will stand out. So because I've taught them from a younger age to stand out, everybody wants to associate themselves with them because they can see that there's a character in them that they want to oh my God, this child, there's something that they have that somebody else doesn't have. And that's how I've trained them. Because of that community judging, society judging, you understand? They look at you and they say, oh, her child is like this, or her child is like this. There is that judgmental character, and that's why I started talking to people who are judging single parents. And Maya, you know the funny thing is, how can you sit there and judge somebody just because you have a wife or a husband? Who told you tomorrow that your husband or your wife will not die? Who told you tomorrow that your husband or your wife will not leave you for somebody else? Who told you that tomorrow that husband and wife and the husband or the wife will not have an accident and become a vegetable on bed and you're
not our prayer, but it can happen.
Not our prayer, but I will tell the people who are judging single parents because you're in a relationship, this can happen to you at any time, Mayor. This is a reality of life that people don't like saying.
You know what, Lydia? You are on fire for this. You are on fire. I'll tell you what. Don't go away. Don't go away in 2 minutes and just stay there. Just stay there because I've got another special guest who's coming in. Just stay there. You're not breaking. We did say we do encourage when we know nice things happen. You and I, we are the advocates. We always say any nice thing happening, we always tell people not to run away from it, not to shy away from it. And tonight we have this young girl here. And you know what? She's going to tell us the latest product in the market. as we have a drink of water.
Niajewase. TapTap Send Money Transfer has launched its app in Kenya. Send money to M-Pesa and Kenyan bank accounts. Send money quickly at the best rate. Hassle-free. Available in the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium and Germany. Tumaki too.
Thank you. Good evening, Sharifa.
Good evening, Mama. How are you?
Very, very well, thank you. Na karibu sana.
Asante. Well, that was a fire talk. Real conversations, I'm telling you.
Now, I know Lydia doesn't know this. Sharifa, before you say why you are here, why are you excited about this topic? Can you tell me?
I'm very much excited because, drum roll, I have been brought up by a single mom.
Woo!
And so these issues, I'm listening, I'm like, wow. I hear it, the stigma, the challenges with attending school activities, helping with the homework, you know. So I kind of know these challenges, and I know so many people, parents are facing it. But you know what? Support of family, support of friends, and prayer. Believe you me, nothing is impossible.
And you managed to study up to...
I have studied my second degree. I have a diploma. I am going for my MBA. All this with a single mother. And I'm very grateful.
Amen, 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 amen. Sharifa is one of us. She's like my own daughter. She's been studying here. She lives here in UK. But when she studied, her mom was here, and as a single parent, and listen, she's given her, she has a diploma, 2 degrees, and now she's going for her MBA. Just because her mom was there for her, just because her mom was supporting her. And the reason why Sharifa is here, because I just introduced and I told you, whenever I have nice things, I don't keep away from you, my Kenyan community. TapTap, the easiest way to send money to Kenya if you want to support families. By then, TapTap wasn't there. Sharifa is here for us to tell us, because I believe through those remittances, that's how her mom used to send money. TapTap wasn't there by then. So Sharifa, can you tell us, why are you here? What are you doing? What is TapTap? Go ahead.
First of all, again, thank you, Mama, for this platform. My name is Sharifa Chebichi. I am a proud daughter of our dear country, Kenya. Today, I'm here to share with you the beautiful impact of TapTap Send. TapTap Send is a new app that is here to allow us to send money back home. And you know what is very interesting is that I have used TapTap. Now, what is TapTap? I've already told you it is an app that allows you to send remittances back at home. We are currently in Kenya. If you're listening in the UK, if you're listening in the UK, if you're in Germany, if you're in Netherlands, man, we are going all crazy. But you know what? I want to tell you that with TapTap, there are no secret charges. I know a lot of people have been reaching out to Mama here and other ambassadors. We do not have any secret charges. And then we have the best rates. If you can check our rates today, the day before, even Mama will tell you, we have the best rates. Another thing is your money is secure with TapTap Send. I know how to send amounts of money. Listen, if it's £10, if it's 1,000, you know what? Your money is secure with us. And if you feel not, you know what? Reach out to Mama, reach out to me, reach out to TapTap, and we'll be able to assure you that your money is safe. Now, I know right now things are really tough back at home. You know, people are falling ill. People are in the biashara is going on. Guys, you can put your money for biashara, send it with TapTap. If your money for your family, send it with TapTap, you know. So you know what you need to do right now? Go to the App Store or go to the Play Store, download TapTap Send. The logo is there, very beautiful, green with a red beak. TapTap, fast, chap, and your money will be home. And remember to use Mama's code, Liz54, yes? Yeah, so TapTap Send, guys, TapTap. Any questions, please reach out to us, and we are more than happy to help you. Thank you very much.
Excellent. I wanted you to come and say it so that they can hear this from somebody. And you know what? Most people have already downloaded the apps, and it's there. Why are you wasting £10 My friend, if you've already downloaded, maximize on the £10, which is if you use my promo code Liz254, LIZ254, send £5, £10, and then you find if you send £10, it's gonna be £20. If you send 5, it's gonna be 15. If you send 20, it's gonna be 30. Why not? And the rates, it's got the highest. I checked this morning, compared with others, it's still very high, and there are no hidden fees. Tap, 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 tap. Please, that is why I brought Sharifa, so that you can hear from somebody else. She's working with us, and if you've got any problems, any issues with downloading, or your money, you feel like it's not secure, reach out to me. I'm not going anywhere. You know me, and I'm in the community. I'll be there. Let's use Tap Tap. Sharifa, thank you ever so much for coming in my show. And I'm so happy to know that you say your mom brought you up as a single parent, and here you are doing so well. We are so proud of you. When I see young girls, young boys doing well, say thumbs up to them and to their parents. Congratulations. I hope you're not going to let your mom down.
No. No, I want to be, I'm her small ambassador, waving her flag high. Thank you so much, Mama. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless you.
Niajiwase. Tap Tap Send Money Transfer has launched its app in Kenya. Send money to M-Pesa and Kenyan bank accounts. Send money quickly at the best rate. Hassle-free. Available in the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. Tumaki too.
Right, welcome back. Have you had a drink? Chai. Welcome to a chai, yeah?
Yeah, chai ya majani.
Right. Okay, Lydia, people are still waiting. Challenges. And Eva says it's a tough world when you are a single parent, but we still manage. Now, Lydia, just before you left, you said some of the challenges will be the society, the community, adaptation to the culture, to the food, to the lifestyle, to the language, and acceptance from people, and, you know, all these little things that really matter, and people don't realize that they have a negative effect on the single parents' children. You know, and instead of supporting them, lifting them up. Over to you now. Let's continue. People are saying you have really done well. Let's continue. Let's support our people. Let's encourage people not to give up, even when the going gets tough.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mayor. When you stopped me, I was getting really on fire because I always like saying things as it is. I say it as it is because that's how life is. But a lot of us, as human beings, we live in this box and we think nobody, or we live in this bubble and we think nobody can pop my bubble. Your bubble can pop anytime. And that's why I always talk to people, stop judging. It doesn't matter if a child is in Kibera, in Islam, that child can be a president tomorrow. It doesn't matter if today somebody is a single parent or you're in a relationship. All we have to do, if you're in a relationship, good for you. If you're single, good for you as well. Not singles judging people in relationship or relationship people judging people who are single. But I know there's so much judgmental. It's just like they say, domestic violence affects everybody, but the percentage is the women is high. It's the same thing as the people being judged as single parents. The judgment is high when you're a single parent. They judge you. I'm telling you, Mayor, there was a clip that was going around that somebody said a single parent product. That was the word this person used from his mouth. I was so angry. I was livid. I said, how dare you say something like that? A single mother. And he even said a single mother product. Not even a single parent, a single mother product. And I said, you cannot even say things like that. But you see, Mayor, that is how the community and the society is. That is how. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter if you're from China or you're from Africa. That is how we've been conditioned. People have been conditioned that if you're not married, a woman, if you're not in a relationship, you're married, then your children, you cannot produce good children out there. The products you produce are not good because that's how we've been conditioned to think. And that's why that man had the audacity to say what he said. There is a single mother product. And then when they're looking at single parents, they always look at single mother. There's also single men out there. And first
Single
of all,
men, yeah,
who
single
makes you
parents,
that
fathers.
single? It's a lot of men that actually makes you single, because they're the ones that go and they leave you there with your children to struggle with your children. And then they come back again, and they're the first people to judge. So like I said, the first one is adaptation. Number 2 for me will be the pressure. Okay.
Yes.
And before I talk about the pressure, Amanda Gorman, we all know who Amanda Gorman is. She was the one who gave a very beautiful poetry in the inauguration for the president. She was brought up by a single mother.
Yes.
Now, Sharifa, you've seen how well Sharifa has done. She's brought up by a single mother. Now, we have our president, just like my mayor is always my mayor, our president Barack Obama, brought up by a single mother. So anytime somebody wants to talk about single mothers out there, please remember all these people that were brought up by single mothers. They've done excellent. So don't talk about single mothers next time. Okay, now leave it there. Now, pressure. The pressure that they are raised as single parents, there's so much pressure. The pressure is from your family, just like somebody rightfully said. The pressure is from the community. The pressure is everywhere. They go to school, they'll say, oh, where's your dad? Where's your dad? Or where's your mom? You know, and then you don't have a mom or you don't have a dad. So you see a child coming home, a child feels not neglected, they feel rejected. They feel rejected in the community. They're like, oh, I don't have a mom. I don't have a dad. And that's why you see some children come and say, but mommy or daddy, where's my mom? Why is it that I don't have a mom or I don't have a dad? You understand? Because the community have said it already, rightfully said it. Everybody's been conditioned from a little child. If your mother is not there, your father is not there, something is wrong with that family. Something is wrong with that family. So the pressure that the pressure that everybody wants you to be this person. Everybody now, like somebody rightfully said, being invited in events. Imagine you're sitting in your house. You're happily sitting in your house. You go on, either somebody calls you, or you go on Facebook, or you just hear a story that, oh my God, so and so, there was an event there, so and so, and you're thinking, why was I not invited? Or because you're a single person.
I know.
The pressure is just too much. So because of that pressure, we find people actually getting into relationships that they're not supposed to, because there's so much pressure. No, I have to get into this relationship. I have to get a man. I have to get a wife, because of the pressure of the society. And now, if you as a single parent, the pressure is on you, that pressure manifests itself to your children.
It's transferred.
And that's what people don't realize, that whatever you are going through as a parent, it will manifest itself to your children. So if you're going through pressure, a
child is a replica of the parent.
Exactly. So if you're going through the pressure of the society and the community and your family members are the worst, by the way. They always say, they'll come to you and say, oh, I'm sorry I couldn't come because my husband, because my wife, and they keep on rubbing it on your face, rubbing it, and they know that you are a single person. You understand? You're a single parent, but they keep on rubbing it, and their intention doing that is not even good. There's nothing wrong saying my husband or my wife, that's fine, but it's the intention behind it. Is the moral behind this, calling my husband every day? You're calling your single sister, you keep on calling your husband or your wife every time. Oh, I couldn't come because my husband said, or my wife said. Do you understand? And then they ask, and you, when are you going to get married? When are you going to get married? You know, you need a man. You need a woman. No, you don't. You don't. Mayor, let me tell you something. What people don't realize, you don't need a husband, and you don't need a wife. You want a husband. You want a wife. Your heart desires you to want a husband and wife, because God, the way God created us, yes, Adam and Eve, you need a husband or a wife, but you want them, but you don't need them, because a need is something you cannot live without. You cannot live. You need a roof over your head. That's a need. You need food. That's a need. You need clothes. That's a need. But a husband and a wife is a want that our heart desires. You see, even people who don't have children, they say, oh, they make you feel like zero because you're a barren, you don't have children. They say, oh, you don't need a child. You don't need a boy child. You don't need a girl child. You want them. That's your heart's desire to have a child. You don't need them. So if you don't have these things, it's not a need, it's a want. And a want, if a want has not happened, deal with it. Live with what you have. I don't have a husband. That will not stop me from loving my children and giving them LTSC, love, tender, and care. It will not stop me. So the pressure of the community and the society,
there we go,
is too much. And if you give in to the pressures, that is when you have a nervous breakdown. Because you'll end up from one relationship to another, and one toxic relationship to another, and all those toxic relationships, it transfers to your children. And then what happens to your children? Tomorrow they'll be in the same situation as you.
That's
because
right,
they saw my mom or my dad. You gave in to the pressure of the world. You gave in to the pressure of the community. They're going to do the same.
Yes.
Number two
Absolutely.
is pressure. And then if we talk about number three, expectation.
Wow.
They
I didn't see that coming.
Too much from you. As a single parent, they expect too much from you because you are a mother and you are the father.
Or the other way, you are the father and the mother, both,
Yes. Or the other way, either you're the father and the mother or the father. You are both. So the expectation is too much. Because you are scared what the society is going to say. Because the minute your child does something wrong, the first thing is because he's a single parent. Because he's a single parent. So the expectation from the society, the community, your family, your workplace, your own children, the expectation is too much. The whole world expects you to give something that you don't have. You cannot give something that you don't have.
Obviously.
But the expectation is too much. And that is why I said, first of all, look at yourself, have a meeting with yourself in the mirror and say, who are my number one priority? Is it my children? Is it my parents? Is it the whole village that I left in Vihiga or in Kisumu or in Machakos or Makueni somewhere or Kiambu? Who is my first priority? Who is my first? Your children. Once you have that meeting and you realize it's your children, now sit down with your children and talk to them. Because if you don't, the expectation, especially even from your children, is too much. And if you don't meet the expectations of the community, your children and everybody, everything breaks down. Everything breaks down. That's when now your children will go, because the same children, they will expect to have a Nike for 150 pounds.
Oh, yes.
That's what they want. The same child, they still want mommy to be in the house with them. Now tell me, Maya, how are you going to buy this 150 pounds Nike and you're also there? You cannot divide yourself into two, and one go to work to get the 150 and one stay in the house with my child. So the expectation, you have to discuss and talk about these things only with your children. Everybody else, it doesn't matter what everybody else expects. Or they expect you to send money because so-and-so has 20 children and they cannot afford it. You have to look after those children. You have to pay for their college. You have to pay for this. Why are you having children if you can't look after them? Why are they becoming my responsibility when I have my own children that are also my responsibility? I'm not taking that, Mayor. And sometimes people say, oh, that's harsh. It's not harsh. You have your own children, you look after them. I have my own children, I'll look after them.
You are right.
So the expectation is too much. Somebody goes and has 6 children, and then they expect me to look after them. And I also have my own 3. My own 3 expect me to look after them. God expects me to look after my own 3 children. Come on. So the expectation is too much.
Expectations, that's a big one. Expectations from all over. You see him everywhere you turn. You are expected to deliver. You are expected to bring up these children, like angels. You are expected to commit your time, your money, your energy. Oh my God. And as Eva clearly says, you get that emotional drain. And remember, I want to keep reminding people, don't be judgmental, please. The reason why we've brought this topic is because most single parents have been judged. They
Yeah.
have been judged. Before you open your mouth to say anything about any single parent, have you found out how did they find themselves there? Is it through bereavement? Is it through maybe separation? Is it through divorce? Is it through any other? It could be all sorts of reasons as to why they find themselves as single parents. Please don't be judgmental. And if you can counsel, and as Christians as I am, pray for that situation. If you find people, if you find children who are going through challenges, before you judge, before you open your mouth, before you send those messages on text, on Facebook and all the others saying, did you see so and so child? She's the one who has been put in jail. He's the one who has been, just because they are single. Did you see? Before you do that, please be that caring person who will just go on your knees and pray. Because this can happen to any child. And like Lydia rightly said, anything happening, and especially among our community, any children who are caught in drugs and all that, the first impression, the first thing that people say is, oh, single parent. That child is from a single parent. And to be honest, I've seen so many who have got both parents and they are in jail today. They are in, all these sort of things. So, and I repeat, we are not advocating for that. We would like the order of God where we would like both parents. But in case this has happened, who are we to be judgmental? Who are we? These expectations, raising that bar so high, not forgetting that this child is dear Baba and dear Mama. They are going, this mother, this father is both, like Lydia said, this parent is both. And it's not easy. Lydia, tuendelee. Let's continue.
Yes.
Let's people really want to share this and thank you so much to those who have been sharing, those who are Irene and the Faith and all the others. And please share. Follow us, like us, and go to my YouTube page, Beacon of Hope Beacon. You can follow us from there. Please like us and invite people so that we are not experts. We are here to share. And that's why I'm reading the comments. And if you've got any questions that you feel you'd like us to look at, emotional drain, especially if one of the parents is deceased or residing in a different country, lack of time for self-care. Oh, yes. Lydia, do you want to look at that? What Eva has written? That lack of time for self-care. Go ahead.
Yeah. And especially when it comes to that, what Eva is saying, self-care is also come to contentment. And that was my number 4. If you're not content with what you have or who you are, then how can you have self-care? How can you even look after yourself? And yes, single parents, when somebody, either a parent is gone, first of all, you're thinking, because you're grieving. You're not even given time to grieve. As a single parent, you're not allowed to grieve. No, your wife died, your husband died, bury, move on. Because you have children. You have children to look after. Do you understand? It is not, you're a human being. You can grieve just the same way somebody without children can grieve. You understand?
Yes.
So if somebody has passed on, no time for grieving, you move on. Those are things that are piling. Everything is piling. So some people, because we are not, some of us, not everybody, if you're not content with what you have, the little that you have, you will not even have time to sit back and take self-care of yourself. You will not, because your husband has died, for example, or your wife has died, but I still have to meet up with everything that he used to be. Don't forget now, this was 2. There was 2 income coming in. Now it's only 1 income coming in. There's no way as you as one person is going to meet the second income. You can't do that. So you have to, first of all, take care of yourself. Take care of your mental state. It all starts from the mind. The mind is very powerful. Take care of your mind. Once your mind is at peace, then your whole body is at peace. When your mind is at peace with 1 income coming in, then your whole body is at peace. What do you do now? You cut your cord according to your size. If you used to go out and eat dinners every month, now your husband is gone or your wife is gone. It's only you. Even let's say that they've not passed on. Let's say now there's a divorce has happened. One person is gone. Because there's some parents out there, I've seen them, and I'm not even scared to say they are useless when they refuse to help their children. We have men out there who leave their family. They do not even give £1 to this woman. Sorry, Mayor, if you don't give me £1, how am I supposed to look after these children? That means that I have to cut things I'm doing. So they're not giving you, there's no any money coming in, but I'm still not content with what I have. I still want to go and carry Gucci bag. How am I going to afford a Gucci bag? Now that Gucci bag has to go. Yes. So contentment as well, to be content with what you have, that's a very big challenge for single parents. Now you have to realize that now I'm alone. And that is why, that is some fear that people are scared but if I go, I can't, because I still have to carry my Gucci bag. I still have to buy, my fridge has to be always super full with things from Waitrose. I can't shop I can't shop in Lidl. Oh God, I can't shop in Morrison. I only have to go to Waitrose. No, you have to be content with what you have. Yes. Cut your coat according to your size. Those are things that I see a lot of single parents struggling. One person is gone. The single parent is now left by the one person is left, but they still want to continue living that lifestyle that they were when they were 2. It's not possible. Definitely not possible, because now one income is gone. Now, let's say the other person is helping you financially, then that's different. But the other person is not helping you financially, you have to cut everything down. So that is to be content with what you have and to look after yourself. Taking care of yourself is first of all, you have to be content with what you have to be able to look after yourself. Because if you don't look after yourself, you're going to have a nervous breakdown. If you have a nervous breakdown, 2 things will happen. They'll ever take those precious, precious gifts that God gave you called children away from you, because you can't look after them. Or you will still stay with them, and because your state of mind is not correct, you are going to transfer it to the children. And now every single person will start having a mental breakdown in the house. Because you know what they say? They say that the oil, that's why they say that the blessings, when the blessings come from up, and it drips down like this. So when you, the person who is on top, is not okay, then whatever is dripping, the toxics that are dripping down from you, is just going down to the children. So first of all, you have to be content with what you have. Even if now I can't finish building my house, so be it. What's the point of finish building this house and then tomorrow you're locked in one hospital or you're gone because of the pressures and because you wanted to push yourself to a breaking point? Yes. Contentment. Oh dear. I know people are still sharing and people are just baffled by the things that some people did not know or they just overlook. They see them, but they never take them that seriously. And particularly the married people, where there is 2 parents, there are so many little things that they never thought they affect the development, the growth of these children in a single family. But they are very, very serious ones. Look at what happens back home. If you are bringing up a child, especially in the village, that child belongs to the community. Anybody can support you. The child can go to Shosho for food, can go to Auntie Hannah, can go to wherever for food. You can leave, the children take themselves to school as from even nursery school. I'm saying the village, I know in Nairobi, it's almost like what we have here. But now here, it's even more challenging. It's even more challenging because the children's rights are taken very, very seriously. Your own child could be taken away from you just because a neighbor reported that a child was in the house on their own, or a 16-year-old, because they say 16-year-old is still too young. Maybe you've gone for a shift or you are late in coming back. They see the boy or the girl opening the door by themselves. The neighbors, they look like they're the watchmen here. They look around. The next thing, there's a door knock with the social services and the police, and they say that you are neglecting. Those are some of the challenges we go through. So unless you're getting a lot of support, you try and build up that support, maybe like we said, from friends, from have good neighbors if they are there, because some places
it's not okay. Then if you can have, like I said, from church, I had all that support. I had beautiful sisters who did when I was, and they're not even just my own biological sisters. I had my own biological sisters when my son was growing up. I had friends who I refer to as my sisters to date. I had brothers, even from church, who could offer go and pick up my son from school, take him to games and all that. But these are some of the challenges that people do not know. So they just see you walking, they just see things happening and they're so judgmental. Lydia has told us some of the challenges we have is the expectations also from the community. They expect you to perform. And when we talk about the expectations as a single parent, they expect you to be like everybody else. One, there are those expectations from outside, and there could also be expectations from your children if you are not their friend. Lydia started by saying she makes sure that her children are her best friends, and I can testify to that. I know that they are her best friends. Wherever Lydia has been going, she never leaves them. She has been training them, and now sometimes people think she's an older sister. They have been the handbags. That's what I said when my son was growing up. We never ever separated. We used to go for kesha, overnight prayers with him. I'll carry a duvet and I'll make sure he's sleeping somewhere. I'll never leave him. I'll never leave him in the house. He'll always be with me. Being that present parent is very, very important. Then we said some of the other challenges is the pressure from families, from community, from family members, from school, from everywhere. Sometimes this will bring the drain, the emotional drain in you, and the children not being accepted by the community, because there are those people who will still talk of, oh, these are children from single parents, and it's traumatizing for the children, because that's when they realize, oh, I never saw myself different. Kumbe, I don't have a dad, I don't have a mom. And then they even start challenging, when they get to teenage, they start challenging their parents. Why am I this? Why can I do this? Sometimes even pressure from teachers, because the teachers will mention things, will say things leading to you're not good enough because you do not have both parents. There's so much. There are so many challenges that single parents go through. Lydia, over to you again. Let's continue. As we almost come to the end, because I know in the next 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you'll be winding up.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so like I say, just for people taking notes, my number 1 was adaptation, and then number 2 was pressure, number 3 was expectation, number 4 was content, number 5 now is support system, like you just said. The support system, Mayor, you are blessed that you are going to church. There are some people who don't go to church. There are some people who don't go to mosque. And you're also blessed that you have your sisters and brothers. Some people don't have that. Some people are just me, myself, and I, and they don't go to church. And we cannot judge them for not going to church or mosque, because probably they've been banned before and they don't want those places. So it's just them. But we need, as human beings, nobody is an island. Nobody is an island. So we need support system. We need support system around us. But as you look for that support system, you need to know, you need to vent those people. Because for me personally, because I work with the youths, I'm always, so when it comes to just meeting somebody and trusting them and leaving them with children, I'm always so skeptical when it comes to that. Because I've seen and I've heard. Do you know, Mayor, let me tell you something. I always say that God loves me more than anybody in this world. I don't care what anybody else says.
But for me, he loves me more.
He loves me. Number 1. Do you know what happened to me one day, Mayor? I lived with somebody in my house for 6 months. And when the day I sent my children to America, like I said, they called me one day and said, Mommy, are you sitting down? I said, what is wrong? We've sent you something we want you to see, but we want you to sit down first. I said, just send it to me. Parents, just send it to me. What is it? The boy that lived in my house for 6 months, right now I'm talking to you, he's in prison for 22 years for rape.
Wow.
Hi, wow. Jesus. This guy was raping 13 to 15 years old. We did not have a clue. Immediately, I told my children, and he was picking my child from school and bringing my child in the house. I said, I asked my little girl, and my daughter was like, she was confused. She was like, Mommy, why are you asking that question? That it touched me? No, why would you do that? So I knew, phew, God protected my children. And it's because my nature, as I give and I give and I gave, God gave me that protection in return as a single parent. Because if that happened, people would have blamed me first. They would have just said it's her fault. They wouldn't have the boy wouldn't have been blamed. The first person is, you see what these single parents do. You understand? And this guy, he was somebody that was thinking that I'm helping. He was only 16 or 17. He was young himself. He was 17 years old. But still, what he did is in jail right now for 22 years. So when it comes to just getting anybody to look after your children, I'm like, no. Vetting, vet until you can't vet anymore. Absolutely. But you need that support system around you. Now, if you have a support system, you guys can work it round and say, you know what, I work on Monday and Wednesday. Why can't you come over to my house on Monday and Wednesday, stay with my children, and me, when I'm not working as well, bring your children over. You can have a group of women, a group of neighbors, a group of society. There's organizations. There is support system out there. And you can also create your own support system. Because somebody will say, oh, but I don't know. What are you doing? Stop sitting down and playing pity party. You know, people like playing pity party. Oh, but they did this to me. They said, no. Get up. Stop. They did this to me. They said this to me.
Absolutely.
What are you doing? They say change starts with you. So as some people stood up and they had the initiative to start a support system, you too, you can get up, take that initiative and start a support system around you. So now, if with that support system, you can work really well. So you don't have to leave your children with strangers, or you don't even have to work so many hours and your children don't see you, or you leave your children by themselves to come and open the door before you know the social services knocks your door. And then what was all that for? What was all that hard work for? So create a support system. Everybody needs that. Because nobody is an island. And that support system works really, really well. If you don't have it, you make one yourself.
Yes, it's possible. Absolutely. Yes. Very, very important to have that support system. And like you say, you don't necessarily have to belong to church or a mosque. If you don't, although I find that, especially here in diaspora, that is one of the areas where you can really, if you link yourself with the right team, that is where you can get the support. However, I know people who have been hurt there because people look at them in that state of, but, and whoever is calling me now, oh dear. Whoever is trying to mess up this now.
Just cut it.
Yes. Okay. So, like I was saying, there are some people who, because I talk to you, the people in the community, there are people who have been hurt in church because of comments that have been said by people and their own children, feeling that their children should not be mixing with children of so and so just because they are single fathers or they are single mothers and all that. And they feel that their children might not have the right character. Instead of being that support system, they put them off. And so these mothers or these fathers opt never to go back to their house of prayer, where that should be the safe refuge for them. That should be a safe place for them. So that support system could be actually even within the people where your children go to school, who are neighbors. I know I've seen that. You agree on Mondays, Tuesdays, I'm the one who will be dropping the kids to school. I'm the one who will be picking up kids from school. And then Wednesdays, you are the one who will be doing this. This one helps. This works. And that also gives your children that sense of belonging. Because no man is an island. And because we are, our systems, the way we've been brought up, we belong to the community. And no one can ever live on your own. And I always tell people, we are here in diaspora. There are those good things that we brought along. There are those things that I wouldn't want anybody to change about me. I belong to the community. I want to do things for people. I want to do things with people. Look at what Lydia does. Kenya in the Park. How many of these people here would be doing it? Now they envy. They look at it and they feel, yes, This is the right thing. People getting together, sharing together. We can't meet even for summer. We start going out in the park, playing games, doing things together. So organize, get that support system wherever you come from. It is very, very important. Don't even, it's not even for the children, even for you. It's very, very important. Emotionally, you want people you can share with, you want people you can talk to, you want a place where you can go and relax. Maybe at times, if you are trustworthy, people where they can send your kids to you overnight, people where you can send your children for a sleepover, maybe for a weekend where you can have a break. Maybe you are going on holiday and you can trust to leave your children with somebody. These are some of the things that, although that takes a lot of, you really need to do, I don't want to say due diligence, but you really need to research and know, are they, unless they are people you know very well. Because again, you don't want to lose your children to the social services, where children will be molested or maybe even sexually abused when you are away. And when you talk about sexual abuse, it could just be touching. And then the children go and tell their teachers, or they come and tell you, and you be concerned. Then the next thing, social service is involved. So when you build that support system, you got to be careful where that is, because this abuse has even happened in the houses of prayer. We have had, happening within people whom you trusted your children with. Lydia, as we continue, as we go towards the end, go on then.
Yeah, so for me, really, I would just like to encourage, especially single parents. I know we were talking about the challenges, but I know as single parents, sometimes we feel like, I want to go out. Come on, we're all humans. You want to go out, maybe. But there are some things that we really have to be careful, especially when it comes to bringing every Tom, Dick, and Harry or Mary Atieno and Nyambura in your house. You have to be very, very careful, because we are the children. We mirror our children. They always say, there's this say that do what I say and not what I do. Crap, come on, that is out of the door. When it comes to children, children is do what I do, because children, they'll do what you're doing. They'll do what mommy is doing or what dad is doing. They copy what you're doing, because you are their role model. When the children are growing up, you are their role model. You are their motivator. You are their inspiration. You are the one that inspires them. You motivate them. You transform their life from when they're little coming up. You're transforming every stage of their life. You're there. You're transforming it. So when they look at you, they say, "Wow, my mom, my dad." They look at you like a hero. A hero will never do anything wrong. So whatever you're doing, your children will copy, because my hero said smoke, I'll smoke. My hero said drink, I'll drink. My hero says sleep with everybody in the street, I'll do it, because that is what my hero said. So as single parents, that is a big challenge, Maya, because we want to have this social life, but you have to be very careful. Don't bring men or women in your house, because today you brought this one, tomorrow you brought the other one. What do you think your children will do? Forget, don't do what I'm doing. Do what I tell you. They will do what you're doing, because that's what they see you doing, and they want to mirror you. Yeah, because they mirror you. So that is a very big challenge, and social. So that one is social life. So that's number 6. The social life part of it is, you want to do these things, but you cannot do them. You cannot do them under your roof. You have to be careful how you do them. Yes, you want to smoke. We have some parents who smoke their weed. That is your life. I will never judge somebody for smoking their weed. That is you. You want to smoke your weed. That is your life. But do not do it in front of your children, because your children can even go and do it, and they will not even know how to do it in moderation that you do. They will go and overdose themselves with weed because, I saw mommy or daddy doing it. They'll go and do it. If you want to smoke, that is fine. You can smoke your cigarette, but at least smoke your cigarette outside, because if you're smoking, especially when you're smoking your cigarette where your children are, that is also health hazard for your children, because they're inhaling your smoke. So I know you're inhaling it. So all these things, and even drinking, you can drink. Everybody drinks. You can drink, but that drinking it's called stupidly drinking. Every day you're coming home, you're drunk from work, and you're singing, Jumbe, nipeleke kwetu Jumbe, nimelewa sana mimi, sinapakulala jamba, nipeleke kwetu Jumbe. You cannot do things like that when you have children. That Jumbe, you cannot sing it in front of your children. So all these things are social. When it comes to social aspect, it's really a challenge because yes, I want to do this. I want to hang out with my friends all the time. So it comes back to social. It comes back to this. What is it? What's the one I said? It comes back to support system. If you want to go out, you can tell your support system, look, on Friday this week it's my time. So you guys can stay with the kids, and I'm going to do it. But because we don't have those things in place, we feel like I have to sneak Tom in the house today. And then you think that you're sneaking Tom. Your children are smart. They've seen Tom come in. And then 3 months later, Tom is gone. Today now I'm sneaking John. They see those things. I know it's hard for us as single parents. We want to mingle. We want to, we are single. So they say you go to Benjamin. Benjamin always does something called single and mingle. You're single, you want to mingle, but you cannot mingle under your roof. You have to go and mingle somewhere else. So that is really difficult as well, Maya. That is another challenge.
As you come to the end, go on now.
Yeah, so I just want to thank you again once more, Mayor Kangethe, and I want to thank everybody who was watching and all your comments and all your support as well. Thank you so much. But I just want to talk to people out there who are judging single parents. Please stop, because the thing that you don't realize is any person in this world can become single at any time. And that's the same thing I always tell people. Don't judge people who are disabled out there, because you can become disabled anytime. Don't judge people who are going through mental illness, because you can become anytime. Anything on this world, you can become anytime. Nobody is immune to anything that happens to their neighbor. Because while the neighbor is praying that God, don't bring this to my doorstep, just take it to the neighbor. That neighbor too is praying, don't bring it to my doorstep, take it to Lydia. So somebody is praying the same prayer as you. Remember that. So don't, this judging mentality that we've all been conditioned to, we should stop it. Stop judging. Instead of judging, offer a hand of help.
Yes.
Offer helping hand instead of judging.
Wow. Lydia, I'm sure you still have more. We should arrange and bring you back here, and more parents, because I can see people are just joining and commenting and learning. I can see that was very enlightening. Thank you, Beacon of Hope. Children learn more by what you are than what you teach them. They are so good at observing. They will look at what you are doing. And so even if you are there and you are doing the wrong thing, we started by saying being that present parent, but be there and set good standards for your children. Be that role model in whatever way for your children. Very, very, very important. Now, Lydia, I am so grateful, and I'm glad. I can see you still have more points. And we can always come back, because again, everything that has a beginning has an end. I'll give you just a second now to just a minute now to wind up, and then so that we can finish.
Yeah, just to say again, thank you, Mayor, and thank you, our viewers. And if you're a single parent, please don't feel like you're an outcast. Don't feel like it's a sin or it's a crime. It's not. And just like at the beginning, Mayor Kangethe said already, we are not voting or about people, both parents. Both parents is good, because that is from the beginning, from Genesis. That is what God ordained as well. That yes, we should be a family, both parents there, which is good. But if it's not happening, don't feel like something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Being a single parent is so hard, and it's next to impossible, but it can be delivered, and it can be implemented in both ways. All you have to do is know all the I wouldn't say rules or roles or rules. I'll just say know yourself, know your children, know your community, and also follow some guidelines. You know, they always say that marriage has no guideline, bringing children has no guideline. Yes, I always feel like there is, because there's some things that we have to follow for us to succeed. Everything you have to follow for you to reach your goal. There are some things you have to follow for you to reach your goal. So when it comes to marriage, or it comes to bringing up children, why is it that these ones, there are not some things we have to do to reach? We do have to do them. So things like adaptation, pressure, expectation, content, system support, being present, social aspect, all these things, if you put them in place and you just be ticking them and say, you know what, I've done this, I've done this. So whichever way your children turns out, it's not your fault. You have done your best. Just do your best and leave the rest to God.
Wow, Lydia, I just cannot thank you enough. I want to appreciate you, because not many people would be willing to open up their lives for people to learn, because whatever you've been sharing, you are saying this, and we said right from the beginning, we are not the experts. We must have made our mistakes in the course of this, but we wouldn't want anybody to make the mistakes that we made, and that is why we are bringing in any little knowledge that we have. And for me now, as a mother, who was as a single parent, I brought up my own son. One thing that I know from my Christian background, I know for any parent, be it the male or female, it's always good to be a good listener. Listen to your children. It's always good to be present. It's always good to be patient. It's always good to be encouraging despite what is happening to your children. Encourage yourself and encourage yourself. Be that giving parent and forgiving. Forgive yourself and forgive the child, so that you can be able to bring up that child. Be disciplined yourself. Like you just said, you don't do those things that you don't expect your children not to do. Be motivated, be organized, be focused in your life, your matters and everything. Be intelligent, be persistent, and be creative. Be persevere, bearing one another. And always make the positive affirmations to your children. As a mother, as a father, be that person who instills the positivity in them. Show them the positive things in life. And finally, I cannot forget to say that pray with and for your children. I don't care whatever beliefs you have. We all believe in a being somewhere. Be that prayerful person with your family. Pray with your family. And I say, Kenyans, where we have come from, not many people would say they never believed in God. Or if you're Muslim, be that, have a place of prayer where you can go with your children. Don't say when you go to Rome, do like the Romans. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong. People have their own ways. So be that parent who prays with your children and praying for them. Pray with them and pray for them. So thank you, Lydia. Once again, the two of us being community champions, our sincere condolences to the people of Great Britain, where we are hosted, and the Commonwealth. This morning, Prince Philip rested peacefully. May his soul rest in peace. So on behalf of our community, on behalf of BOH, on behalf of me and Lydia Tett, we send our sincere condolences. The whole of Great Britain and the Commonwealth, you are in mourning, but he has rested at a good age, 99. As Christians, we say that is resting, and that is what Her Majesty the Queen said. That was, he rested peacefully. May his soul continue resting in eternal peace. So thank you, Lydia. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. What can we say? In case people want to reach out, we are here. We are always everywhere on social media, because we always put ourselves forth for any support. If you need support with links with the embassy, we are not the ambassadors, but at least we know, because we are the big mouth and we don't care being called that. So in case you need any support, any issues that are bothering you to do with, anything to do with Kenyan, we are here. We always put ourselves forth as the brand ambassadors. And why not? If we can do it, and if I can do it, if Lydia can do it, we don't shy off where we can support.
Yeah.
Right. So what can I say? Thank you.
You.
It's
Thank
been a
you.
pleasure hosting you. I
Thank you, ma'am.
really appreciate, and the points that you shared tonight, we don't take anything for granted. I mean, everything has been super, super,
Thank you.
super, super.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. I give God all the glory for your life, and
Amen.
may your children continue being those role models that all of us can look at and say, look, Lydia student, I already know. There's one who bakes
Thank
for
you.
me. Anytime I
Yeah.
make cake, she's started her own business at
Yeah.
such an early age.
Yeah.
The sky is the limit for them. Tell them I
Amen.
love them. They always know they have an auntie somewhere here.
Mm.
And I know
Mm.
some of them in a few years, maybe not long, we're having the next counselor from Lydia's house. We
Amen.
have a politician there. I'm
Amen.
mentoring because if I have to move to the next level,
Mm-hmm.
and with God all things
Yeah.
are possible.
Yeah.
Why can't I go to the Westminster? Can't I go to those houses of
Exactly.
parliament? Why not?
Exactly.
And so
Exactly.
I would love to have other people now take over from the local authorities so that they can push me to the next level. And I can see
Exactly.
we've got hope. There is hope at the end of
There
the
is.
day. There is hope. Our
Thank you.
God is able. With Him, all things are possible. So, once again, I encourage people, be that prayerful parent. Pray with and for your children. Please, no giving up. Don't give up. Know that with God, all things are possible. There is nothing that our God cannot do. Be that parent, be that available parent for your children. Please, always praying with them, always encouraging them, always, just being there. Just be that person who will not leave your children on their own. You know, I know it's easier said than done, but it is possible. We can do it. We can do
Mm.
it. We can manage. We can manage. And you know what? We've come to the end of our program. Way to go. Yes, cheering. Yes, to this end. Thank you so much. I just want to appreciate a few people. Oh, dear. This is a problem with the systems here. You go, and then the next thing you are losing it. I know Sanboni is laughing at me wherever he is. He always says, I can do it. I don't believe in myself. I can do it. Yes. I want to give a shout out to a few people. Would you like to give a shout out to a few people on your end, Lydia, as we wind up?
Yeah, just a shout out to people who are watching. Phyllis Mwangi, I know she's a pastor, so thank you
Yes, my
so
sister.
much. Irene Ivy as well, thank you. Faith has a
Uh-huh.
charity, it's called Hope After Trauma, so that's a
Faith,
good one
hope,
as
yeah.
well.
I can see faith, yeah.
Yeah, and then I also want to say thank you to Fail Nyambura, and thank you to Springforth Church. Thank you
Yep.
to Ellen Ora Wanjiru, and thank you to Samuel Muchiri. Thank you to Naomi Joel.
That's my
Thank you
daughter.
thank you so much, daughter, for tuning in. Thank you to Eva Mburu, and she
Mbelu.
actually, she contributed a lot. Thank you so much, Eva. And thank you so much, Eunice, as well, Eunice Kinuthia. And also your sister is here, Jane Kangethe. She's here as well. Thank you, Jane, for supporting. And also your husband is also here watching. Thank you so much,
He's got to
husband,
be.
for tuning in. Thank you so much, Dama Ben Kilelo. Thank you,
Dama
Dama
Ben is
Ben.
my daughter.
Oh, thank you so much. So we've had so many people watching, and I just want to say thank you so much to every single person who tuned in today.
We appreciate them all. And I also have Richie and wife. Richie is my nephew and the wife. They've been watching, they've been following us. So well done, everybody, for being here with us. The show would be incomplete without you. We appreciate you. We love you. And just as we go, tap, tap. Why would I forget tap, tap? Tap, tap, the easiest way, the cheapest way to send money to Kenya. And just download that app. Once you download the app, easy. Use my promo code Liz254 LIZ254 and you get £10 on top of your money. What better thing? So tap, please, if you want to send money to support family and friends back home, use TapTap. Just download it. It's easy to download. Go ahead and download. So thank you so much, Lydia. You're free to leave the studio if you can.
Thank you.
Niajewase. TapTap Send Money Transfer has launched its app in Kenya. Send money to M-Pesa and Kenyan bank accounts. Send